The Bank of England governor thinks we are facing a historic squeeze as a result of this energy crisis.
The shock from energy prices this year will be larger than any single year in the 1970s.
Larger than any single year in the 1970s. But actually, he might be understating it a little bit. And to see why, you need to look at what's going on with those energy prices, starting with wholesale gas prices. This is basically what your energy company is spending its money on. And we thought that that peak that you can see there last winter was high. Well, then came the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and just look at what happened to gas prices after that. Historic peaks there. But they have come down, quite interestingly. Look, that line has gone down a little bit in the last few weeks. Why is that? It's partly because there is still gas flowing from Russia through to the EU. Surprising this, isn't it? But just look, actually the flows have gone up to the highest level so far this year. That line is up to the highest level so far this year, despite the invasion. So there's a lot going on that we need to kind of unpick here that feed through to our bills. But let's have a look at our bills and just how much of our spending goes on those bills. We're looking back here all the way to 1957, and you can see this blue area here, that's the kind of range of what we've tended to spend our money on when it comes to these energy bills. You can see it's been within that range. It's come down a bit in recent years, but as we all know, it's going up, and as of the end of this week, it is going up to just under £2,000. That's the energy price cap. Differs depending on the size of your home, but that's the highest level since the mid-1980s on average. The question, though, is what happens next? Does it go up, as the OBR said last week, to £2,800 in October because of those extra increases in gas prices? That's what they said last week. But here's the thing. On top of that, you've got to bear in mind that the Chancellor has stepped in with some money, £350 in total, council tax and rebates. So if you factor that in, for the average home, if you do get those rebates and so on, you're still talking about that red line being the highest that we've ever seen, so higher than anything since the 1950s. But you've got to also bear in mind, those gas prices are yo-yoing around a lot, and every day they change, so does the calculation for what we're going to be paying in October. So right now, the latest numbers suggest we're talking about not maybe 2,800, more like 2,500, 2,490, the price cap. So once you then take off the £350, that, by the way, is obviously the highest that we've ever seen, but take off the 350, and you're in that territory, which is similar, a little bit worse than we're going to see in April. Still the worst since the early 1980s, but not historically bad. That is why the Chancellor and everyone else is going to be keeping an eye on what happens to those gas prices over the next few weeks.